Hong Kong beat.
For 4 years, the Royal Hong Kong Police Force has been the target of investigations such as few police forces have experienced anywhere in the world, and not without cause. It came as a shock to discover that a British-trained and British-run police was riddled with corruption on a scale that rivaled the mafia. The government was forced to act. It created the ICAC, an independent commission against corruption. It gave them wide-ranging powers to purge the colony as a whole, but for 4 years, ICAC's most dramatic results came from investigating the police. In the summer of 1977, as the clean-up campaign intensified, a force under pressure was ready to explode.
Okay, let's go.
In a colony, the threat of riots and insurrection is always a possibility. In Hong Kong, although the British Army is on hand, it's only a token force, and Peking wouldn't take too kindly to its use in a confrontation against civilians. Experience has shown that the diplomatic solution to such a crisis is a police force trained in military matters.
Right, think. Go. Go it. Always there ready, yeah? Now, and as soon as they come out there, fire. You understand? Right. By the centre, quick march. Slow. Slow.
Under the eye of Superintendent Brian Merritt, affectionately known as Basher Merritt, these men from Yaumatei police station are having a refresher course in anti-riot training. At 32, Merritt's an old hand. He's been 10 years with the Hong Kong police and before that was a sergeant in the Grenadier Guards. The military side of the job comes easily to him. Hong Kong's obsession with anti-riot precautions is well-founded. In 1967, the police were all that stood between thousands of cultural revolutionaries and the collapse of the colony. Then Superintendent Merritt, as a young inspector, was in the front line.
It was quite tremendous. I was there, I was like 22 years old then. 10 years ago now, you know, quite exciting. At the same time, I think a lot of us were really scared. You know, when you sort of get out, you sort of walk around the corner and suddenly there's 5,000 people there you weren't perhaps prepared for. And for about 3 or 4 days, the barrier, the line of police, people were sort of screaming in their faces, spitting at them, having a little bit of a dig and a bit of a pull. I mean, I had my balls pulled, and I think everybody, you know, almost had enough. What happened was, one morning, everybody came out, usual style, screaming and shouting, and the stone statue just broke into an organised display of force. It was like a spring bursting loose.
some unknown reason, a lot of you are afraid of using your force. But if you're a little bit worried, they're getting too close, it's getting dangerous, and you think your men's lives are in danger, you're quite at liberty to use the shotgun.
嗱，如果有啲人太近同埋你認為呢啲有危險嘅咧，你係有權咧係用呢啲嘅雷明燈啊。
Providing you warn first. But how loud you do that is up to you.
嗱，幾大聲咧就係你自己嘅事啊。
Now you mustn't allow them within 100 yards. So if they suddenly come at you, right, 3 section, fire! Follow up slowly. If they come at you, 2 section, fire! You see the 2 or 3 of the bums on the ground, then, right, you get your 1 section. Right, 1 section, you, get him! So remember, 100 yards away.
Merritt's ruthless approach is designed to impress men who've never been in the firing line.
It's either you go back to the police station or you go to the mortuary. What do you want to do?
嗱，一係咧就你翻差館，一係就去殮房，咁啊梗係翻差館啦，梗係打死嗰個打死。
Open fire.
開槍啊嘛，明唔明啊？開槍嗰個。
Don't matter.
唔使你嗰扎人都係嗰班人嚟㗎嘛。
Kill one, they're all shot.
係咪打死晒？打死一個，佢哋冚唪唥走㗎啦。
The one girl brothels, don't worry about.
Merritt is number 2 in charge of Yaumatei division, one of the colony's toughest areas.
So whether the girls are not there because we called in before.
Is this smart ass bloke, isn't he?
Yeah.
Did he give you a hard time or?
No, it's just very cocky.
Inspector Foy is one of his junior officers.
Just Chairman Mao said, what was it, every journey starts with a single step.
Pauline Foy is a deceptively tough former school teacher. She's in charge of a special duty squad whose day begins at dusk and whose territory is the twilight world of Yaumatei.
This deals with all of vice, brothels, massage parlours, which are illegal out here, drugs, most of the things we do. We also deal with prostitutes on the street and selling indecent photographs. Where are the girls?
啲女去晒邊啊？啲女
冇啊，真係冇。如果有，你可以拉我返。
Mo, look at all these clothes that are here. Don't lie to me.
有冇同車大炮
冇
啊？
真係冇，真係冇，真係冇，真係。你信我。
You give me false information, I can arrest you. Do you understand? Come on out of there. Come on out. Come on. Shut lie up.
出嚟啊！驚咩佢？
使乜諗啫？咁幾廿蚊個月啫嘛。
幾多蚊啊？幾多諗啊
？50蚊個月咯。
50蚊個月啊？上班啦。
You came here for a girl?
No. Rent a room for a silent sleep.
嗰個就話你又有大把麻煩。
Yeah? Let you go home and you just keep away from the bars, the girls, anything. Get yourself a nice job. And don't tell me lies anymore. Right then. Make sure you do it, all right? I don't want to see you around anymore.
佢唔想再喺呢啲咁嘅地方見到你啊嚇！
Yeah? You get into a lot of trouble being a bar girl.
如果你再做呢啲咁嘅職業咧，你就會好多麻煩㗎啦。
She can get a better job than this.
呢度鄉下。
Inspector Foy's squad has had a busy time recently. The good citizens of Hong Kong are complaining of the increase in pornographic literature on sale in the streets, and the police have found plenty of evidence to support the claims.
Down here, yeah, somebody's printing them. It's not done properly, and they're being reproduced somewhere. They're not finished off properly on the inside, and the pictures are a bit blurred inside.
In the light of Inspector Foy's discoveries and with pressure from the politicians, the police have decided that the time is now right for a major clean-up of the area.
Has anybody got any relatives or friends in the dirty book business in Simpson Choi?
如果任何在座之中有朋友親戚咧，佢就做緊呢啲鹹濕書檔嘅經營生意㗎啦嚇。
If you have, you may leave. Not very nice to go up to your father and say, "Good morning, father, I'm searching your shop."
咁咧，因為點解咧？因為唔好意思，即係話啊，早晨啊，老豆，唔好意思啊，而家我哋搜查你啊，或者對就。
The reason why you're here this morning is that we're going to do quite a large operation on pornography.
今日咧叫你哋呢度集合咧，所要做嘅嘢咧就係我哋今日要做一單。
Some of it is a bit sickening.
咁但係有啲咧就係太緊要啦。
Sickening, is that the word?
太緊要啦，令到作嘔啊！
Now, two of the books we've already got. For the benefit of the ladies here, I won't read out any parts. One of them is titled The Innocent Models Engulfed in Sexual Fire. Translate that.
咁咧，其中有，咁咧就呢度咧就有一本書個片名咧，個名咧叫做話呢個無知嘅模特兒就係被一團慾火所圍繞住㗎。
And I ain't going to let you have a look at these books because I doubt very much if I'll ever get them back.
咁咧就警司咧就話唔想俾你睇呢啲書傳咗俾你睇，因為睇咗嘅時候咧可能會得唔翻，其他會失蹤㗎。
I ain't interested in Playboy or We or Mayfair or International. They are for the pleasure of my reading. They are not to be brought back here. 12.
Search warrants are essential for all premises to be raided.
Mr. Dung.
You want them to stay here?
No, they can go back.
Go back to your own team.
Number 6. Now, some of these addresses are side lanes and staircases.
咁咧有啲攞到地址咧，陣間幫忙帶到去喎，嗰度係後巷嚟嘅，橫巷嚟嘅喎。
Make sure you go to the right place, please. You'll leave here, you'll go out, you grab a taxi downtown, you'll loiter around and find the place, tell your bondman where it is, you go in, execute the warrant. You will buy your book at dead on 12:30. As soon as he pulls it out, bang, you hit him.
Morally indignant citizens may demand a clean-up, but in Hong Kong, as in most places, the policeman's dilemma is in deciding just what constitutes an obscene publication.
But I'm really not sure whether these are obscene or not, because they have photographs in them, although you can read the same sort of thing in Playboy or Playgirl. So...
Have you seen any of the books that you've been briefed to look for?
No, but I can't this, if you like to open that. This, which is just stories, that you get the same sort of thing in other magazines, I'm really not sure. Well, still, I think it's up to the magistrate whether they say it's obscene or not, my own opinion.
But teachers' passionate pets.
Oh, yes, that's definitely. All these here, these and these behind are objectionable articles.
Yeah.
But these, I think I'll just seize and get an opinion on them, as I just don't know myself.
What we're looking for is the rape sexual perversion business, right? But I think sexual intercourse, well, that's a question of Crown Counsel to decide, right? But if it's, I think that the term is artistically done. ADS? No, that's softcore, we ain't interested, right?
How does he get the books?
唔識啊，
識啊？少少？
少少都有少少嘅。
佢住邊度啊？
佢住喺邊度啊？我都唔知佢住邊度，真係唔知佢住邊度。
唔知？
做咩啊
Who does she work for?
喺度做嘢㗎。佢嚟到呢度問有冇按唔按科啊？咪愛唔愛唔對到。
It's not very wise at all.
What'll he get, a fine?
Well, fine of about $500, $600, about maybe £100. That would be all. It's where they get the stories and where they keep them more interested in. Then you can sort of work back from him. You can try and work back, but you see they're not very helpful at the best of times.
While Merritt's pawn squads carry out some 200 raids on assorted bookshops and stalls, Yaumatei's CID have an operation of their own. They hope to catch an alleged backstreet abortionist in action.
What about that place in there? Does anyone know? We had a report of an abortion that was going to take place here at 4 o'clock. We've left it till 15:15 before we got down here. We've come with 2 pathologists. We'll now search the place for any utensils used in abortions and any drugs of any description that could be construed as Part 1 poisons. Any evidence, in fact, that an abortion or an attempt to procure a miscarriage was about to take place.
嗱，而家嗰人走咗，我講啦，嗰人而家咧。 到底係我客仔嚟，而家咧佢偷食要嚟叫我做啊！我話我冇辦法做啦，而家我10年前㗎，所以我話叫佢唔好走啊，做正直啦。
But she's saying that someone's giving her trouble. She's saying that people are making malicious complaints to get the police down here all the time. This place is too. For example,
所以我叫嗰個嘢，我哋講清楚啦。
It's too well prepared. I mean, an occasional kidney bowl or something. You know what I mean? It's just too well prepared. So maybe she's been tipped off. Maybe there's nothing to it.
There's certainly plenty to the pornography raids. Even the police are surprised at the quantities involved.
Is it a bookstall or a shop? Yeah, well, that's fair enough. But, so what about security at this place when you leave? He admits being in charge. And you've got that in your notebook. Have you? Good. Right, I'll send a vehicle down for you. Okay? One vehicle will go down there, right?
Yeah, is it a big case or what?
About 300-400 books, all different.
嗱，去睇九龍醫院㗎，咁我點做菜啊？得啦，唔係我話俾你聽㗎，呢間。
The CID's abortive raid has produced nothing, and a verbal onslaught from an indignant gynecologist has the police on the run.
There doesn't seem to be much here, so what I want you to do is, before we go, I want you to get her to sign in your notebook saying that she's got no complaints, nothing missing, just to cover ourselves. There's no need for sketches, photographs, anything. Right?
所以我叫嗰個人唔好走啦，我冇係呢啲，所以阿 Sir 我頭先叫佢話你講清楚啦，你講清楚啦，我就叫佢而家頭先嚟嗌我啦，佢墮胎啊，我話我唔做啦，我點樣做啊？我而家咁樣，對唔住，
有冇唔見嘢睇睇？
唔走冇，我叫佢講清楚啊，我話你講清楚，我已經講我嘛，阿 Sir 係咪？你唔講點知啊？幫下 Sir， 唉，嗰啲害得你哋慘，係咪人哋告我㗎？嚇？咪點解嚟睇佢啫？我哋有。啊係。啊，唔該，幫忙，對唔住啊。啊。
Or ADS. Yeah. ADS. Yeah. Definitely blue. Oh, been enjoying yourself, have you, Bob? We'll get him to cough which projectors he used for the preview, and nick the projectors as well, and the screen. Oh, we can nick him and all in, can't you? Yeah, why not? Chow. Right, let's have a look. Right, who have we got here? Mr. Chow. Yeah, let's get this lovely pornography here. Oh, can't have that lot around, can we? In my opinion, as a literary expert in this division, the photographic manual of sexual intercourse is not pornographic. I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't. But anyway, list everything, and then you're going to have to sit down. I'll probably get Crown Counsel to come over, team of Crown Counsel, and they can look through each one and decide which one's pornographic.
Yeah.
I don't think that is porno.
Yeah.
But this is definitely pornography. Look at it. High heels on bare buttocks. Yeah. Right, that's you. 1 week, yeah. Every place is proof positive. We've got more than we just thought we'd just get these hardcover books. In fact, we've got magazines, porno, macro magazines, blue films, projectors. I'm a little bit shocked, not in the sense of pornography shocked, but I thought we got to the stage we mustn't let this lot flood back on the market. No, it's we didn't realise there weren't so much. How sweet.
I hope we've got a projector.
Yeah, Bob, I made sure Bob sees one from the camera shot, right?
That's what I did. Here we go. Cop for this.
What do you mean?
whole thing is in fact official. I know we're having a few beers and joking and everything else, but someone has got to view them.
There's something kinky there.
There's a story going around the police force, I don't know how true it is, right, but allegedly it's true. It occurred in another division, where a guy sees around 3 films, and the operator is very smart. So he said, yeah, they're blue films for sale. No one thought of viewing the films first. Anyway, so he pleaded not guilty, and when the films were shown in chambers, they turned out to be all Mickey Mouse films, which made the police look rather embarrassed. So one of those inspectors is going to have to give evidence in court that he viewed on such a time, such a date, he viewed this film, that film, that film, that film, and the following took place. Whether it's a bit of, you know, a bit of foot fetish, or a bit of the old cane going in, or animals being used, he's got to be able to stand up in court.
In the summer of 1977, while the police of Yaumatei division were busily cleaning up the city, the men from the Independent Commission Against Corruption were busily trying to clean up the police. Today, without warning, 2 officers from ICAC have descended on Yaumatei police station, and the waiting public, like the police themselves, have no idea what's going on. The men from ICAC, 1 Chinese and 1 European, refuse to be filmed, but they have no authority over us in the open precincts of the station. They do have authority and warrants giving them access to all Yaumatei police records, and they've taken over a small office where they can study them in private. At this stage, they're telling no one what's happening.
Well, ICAC came in about around about 8 o'clock. With warrants to search part of the station. Apparently they'd arrested like 4 sergeants and 1 or 2 PCs at their homes in the morning, earlier on, about 7 o'clock or something like that. And then they came in again this afternoon to look at certain report books relating to some case, which we have no idea about. It's very difficult to explain to some of the younger lads, but I think they're worried. They're just thinking, you know, what's going on, what's happening, and we're not in a position to tell them because we don't know.
Later, as the station buzzed with rumours, ICAC did allow the camera behind their closed door, but they weren't in a mood to give much away about their inquiry, which is hardly surprising since most of these men are ex-policemen themselves.
Just carrying out routine inquiries in connection with an inquiry that's been conducted by the ICAC.
And this is in connection with the station?
This is in connection with the current inquiry that we have at the moment, yes.
Wait, can you tell me anything about your inquiry at all today?
Not at all, no. Sorry.
It's absolutely confidential?
Absolutely confidential, yes.
Can you tell me, for instance, if more than 1 person is involved in your inquiry?
Sorry, I can't answer that. I think it's common knowledge now what work the ICAC do. And the inquiries that we conduct, I don't think involve innocent people, so to speak.
Do you think there's no smoke without fire, in fact?
No, I wouldn't like to comment on that because I could present problems.
Yeah.
You have nothing to fear as regards investigations or complaints from the ICAC. You should not forgo your duty if you are threatened with a report to ICAC. Any member of the public who threatens you with that, you have every right for having that person charged with criminal intimidation. If you've done your duty within the law, you will have the full backing of the force.
ICAC's inquiries at Yaumatei Police Station in July were the start of a chain of events that would rock the colony in the months to come.
Know that man's haircut.
The continuing disclosures of corruption within this British-run police force were totally destroying their credibility and seriously undermining their morale. No one disputed the need for a clean-up, but everyone wondered where it would stop. 2 months later, when the Yaumatei inquiries were completed, ICAC arrested a total of 83 men from this police station. They were alleged to be part of a drug syndicate. The final number of policemen arrested was 119.
Rearrange! Stand it! Hey!
I would hope
that in time, and it may take some years, we will pretty well eliminate syndicated corruption, and that one will be facing more and more, what I might call, not more and more, I hope less and less, spontaneous or opportunist corruption. But it's a bit like asking me, can I see the day when we reach utopia and there's no crime, there are no criminals? I think there's always some clever chap who thinks he can beat the system, and beat the system despite the deterrents that are there, both by our own organization and the role of ICAC, and hopefully ever-increasing the role of the public. We are, in my view, not yet totally rid of traitors within our ranks, but they're more and more being isolated, pinpointed, and cast to one side.
In October, 1 month after the Yaumatei arrests, a further 34 policemen were arrested on charges of bribery and corruption. This time, 3 British superintendents were allegedly involved.
Front side! By the front! Take out!
For the police, this was the last straw. For 4 years, they felt they'd become the public whipping boy for a complaint that was manifest in all walks of the colony. They also felt that ICAC's methods and the powers they held were a violation of basic civil rights. It's true that the Commission is duty-bound to investigate any allegation, even anonymous ones, and frequently gives no explanation to the suspect. But it's difficult to imagine how they could do the job efficiently otherwise. When the stakes are high, inevitably the methods seem brutal. At the end of October, for 10 days, the Royal Hong Kong Police in effect mutinied. They stormed ICAC's headquarters. They made it clear they'd had enough. On the 5th of November, the governor of the colony conceded and granted an amnesty for all cases of corruption which had occurred before the 1st of January 1977. The public was shocked. In a confrontation with the government, the police had won. It's argued that in a colony whose first priority is to make money, graft and corruption are inevitable. But Hong Kong is Britain's responsibility, and it's estimated that it contributes annually £600 million to the wealth of the United Kingdom. If corruption is endemic in this crown colony, then we're all accessories after the fact. It's certain that the Royal Hong Kong Police Force is not yet purged of corruption, and whether a police force can ever be is anyone's guess. The efforts of ICAC must be a step in the right direction, and since the government has wiped the slate clean, the future of the force, for better or for worse, must now rest with the 16,000 men on the Hong Kong beat.